Hey, what's up guys? It is Mark Yoon, and today I'm bringing another hopefully exciting video. So what I got for you today is a follow-up regarding yesterday's video about waiting for the DLC or the potential delays of the DLC due to things that shall not be named because I don't want YouTube to demonetize my channel. I think that I left out my personal thoughts on the situation, just provided the evidence so I can give a follow-up video about like what I believe. I think that would be the best way to go about it for some people who just wanted the quick information and the facts, and then for those of you that do care about what I actually think about the situation, this video is for you today. Quite frankly, I don't really think that anyone should really give a damn about my opinion on the situation, but this is just mainly for the subscribers who personally want it. Now, the thing is that I'm far more concerned with the safety of those involved than actually getting the DLC earlier. And the further along that things take in development time for me is usually a better thing anyway, because that will avoid us having to go through a bunch of patches and fixes for these characters before they're actually viable and usable. We've seen almost all the characters that were released get like fixed as soon as they like get matched up against other characters online. That's just the feasibility option of it. But when it comes to Project Soul, they are under the umbrella of Bandai Namco. But they are a much smaller team than most of the teams that make up that umbrella. For example, Tekken's team and the like, they have far greater number of people on staff than Project Soul actually does. And a lot of people that work on Project Soul used to actually work for other games such as Tekken. For example, that's why they gave a nod to some of the developers in SOULCALIBUR 6. Or like in 5, where we actually had developers that were in as created characters in that endless battle mode. But with that being said, a lot of those people went on to other creative teams and solely work on them now. So leaving Project Soul pretty much, I don't want to say a skeleton crew, but it's a pretty slim chance of them having a lot more people. So the reason that is because a lot of these people that are on the team have been there since the beginning. And it's a very unique engine that they're working with. It's not the same engine that they use for Tekken or anything like that. They are sister studios, but they are not shared. They don't usually allocate resources unless they're doing something of a joint venture. But I think the biggest thing that people want to hear is that, like, I'm upset about a potential delay, because we're not even positive that it's going to be delayed. They're just preparing us for probably the inevitability that it may actually in fact be delayed. But there's a lot of budgetary constraints there. 2B and Geralt gave us a lot bigger of a budget to work with those original packs and the game development itself. Hamaru is not as well known, and Samurai Showdown is more of a niche game than even SOULCALIBUR is, so the funds provided to use in that pack, however they were allocated, are probably nowhere near as much as they would need to develop all the characters in that pack. With that being said, we know that they're already working on it because we've seen the files for Setsuka in the actual game files itself, so we know that she's coming next, and there's also files for Huang, but not nearly as many. Like we were talking about yesterday, the biggest problem is working over a secured network in order to not lose files or not have files corrupted, and there's bandwidth issues as well. Like, it's really hard to send things over a server if you're at like a greater distance, especially if the internet and service providers aren't like accommodating with that kind of security. So they all usually have their own security protocols in play. They all usually have their own specific and identified security servers, and the secure servers are usually on site. So am I upset about it? Yes, I am, but I'm much more concerned with the health and safety of the people involved. That may not be what somebody wants to hear, but I'm fine with waiting as long as like we know that we can go about doing this in a safe way and we're not just rushing them out. I'm not as entitled to think, even as a season pass owner, that they owe me anything. Sometimes we run out of budget. Like we saw, there was plenty of canceled DLC that was canceled for Soul Calibur 5, and Soul Calibur 5 almost nearly ended the series. Motohiro Okubo had to really go to bat for us to even make Soul Calibur 6. And I'm not trying to like lick his boots or just like constantly defend him and the team. What I'm saying is that like they're doing the best they can with what they have. And I think it is good to complain about certain aspects, especially when they need to be improved upon. I've done that myself a lot in the past. I've talked about very specific things of the game. I've criticized a lot of it, and I've also changed my mind about some things, like Libra of Souls, for example. So I just think that patience is a virtue, especially in this case. The whole world is facing like a similar situation, and some countries are handling it better than others. And I mean, it's going to be hard for us to expect all these things to work together in tandem when like they are a Japanese development studio, but they also are working with Bandai Namco US and other people to import the game. There's a lot of things that are involved with that, especially when it comes to DLC and funding, because they don't have a budget anymore. So, I don't know. With that being said, I want to turn it over to you. And I know some of you gave me your thoughts and opinions on it yesterday, but are you still excited for the characters, or just as hype, or are you worried that like we're not going to get them in general? Or do you think that the wait's actually going to be overblown and it's not going to be that long of a wait? Maybe we'll have to wait like an extra month or something like that. I mean, there was a 4-month lull in between us getting, I think, like, Halmaru and, was it Hilda? I don't remember, but, just let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. We're going to bring this video to a close. I just wanted to clarify my personal thoughts on it so we didn't have to reiterate this constantly over again in the comment section, because a lot of people were asking me the similar thing, so I figured I would just make a video on it as opposed to constantly reiterating the same thing over and over again. But thanks for listening, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you aren't subscribed already, because there's a lot of people that are on my channel that watch my videos that aren't actually subscribers. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace, and thank you.
Hey, what's up, guys? Have you always wanted some sweet Mark Yoon merch? Maybe a thick U shirt, maybe a shirt from Squirt, maybe my pretty face with my logo all over your body, or a throw pillow, or blanket, or anything? Well, you're in luck, because I just launched my merch store, and it is going to be available on Redbubble, and you will find a link to it in my description box down below. It's got a lot of quality content, and a lot of good stuff for you to pick up, so you can show your support for the channel, and just rep Mark Yoon. Alright, guys, as always, thick U. Boy.